if something like pandemic happens again, more likely your company will go bankrupt. Hello everyone, my name is Alif Azaria Lazuardi, and for the next 10 minutes I will explain to you guys about what happened in terms of consumer behavior that happened around Covid-19 era. So here's the thing. What do you guys think happened in the e-commerce section when the Covid-19 hit? Have you guys ever thought of how much of a growth that e-commerce get from the era of Covid-19? If we talk about the case study, you guys still remember that in the Covid-19 era, a lot of people, and by a lot I mean a lot of people, buys online other than in an offline stores. Let's say you guys want to buy some clothes. In the Covid-19 era, there is a lot of policies that doesn't allow us to go out. For example, if you guys want to buy clothes when it was in COVID era, you guys cannot go to the mall easily, right? You guys have to follow some protocols, and also you guys are afraid to get infected by the virus. And because of that, a lot of people choose to buy their stuff online because it is more easier, it's more convenient, it doesn't spend a lot of our time, and we are safer that way. So that's why a lot of people choose to buy their stuff online when it's in Covid-19 era. There is a lot of customer behavioral changes around the e-commerce because of the fear, because of the convenience, because of the rules. A lot of people is more attracted by buying something online in the Covid-19 era because of that.
What kind of trend did you notice in your business during the pandemic, and has it been positive or negative?
Strangely enough, we saw more traffic on the website during that time. I think we'd already been running the website for quite a few years prior to that, but definitely saw an uptick in traffic. And I think people were kind of stuck in their homes, not being able to get out. I think a lot more people became comfortable with shopping online, which obviously strengthened the website presence. I also feel that it kind of brought maybe a lot more competition into the space as well. Either new companies that were starting out, or maybe companies that didn't have an online presence previously. It's kind of been, constantly trying to navigate how to keep going on that.
And another customer behavioral changes in around COVID. If you guys notice, at Covid-19 era, there is a lot of scarcity in health product. For the example, there is a scarcity of face masks during the Covid-19 era because a lot of people bulk buy the mask and they keep it for themselves. That way, the producer of the mask, the factory that produced the mask, need to work much more to fulfill the demand of the consumer.
Paracetamol is in high demand after Aussies were urged to prepare to get COVID. People are struggling to get their hands on paracetamol following advice from the nation's Deputy Chief Medical Officer Michael Kidd, who told Aussies to stock up in order to manage the virus's symptoms at home. Professor Kidd said it's likely that many of us will test positive for COVID-19 over the coming days and weeks if we haven't already done so. He stressed it's important to be prepared because you won't be able to go to your supermarket or pharmacy if you're diagnosed. However, this advice has resulted in products flying off the shelves, leaving some unable to purchase simple pain medication and leaving stores out of stock.
Another kind of customer behavioral changes when it is in COVID era is also much of a people delay their buys in fashion, in luxury, traveling, and a lot of outdoor entertainment in the era of COVID, because our economy hits rock bottom when it was in COVID. That way, consumers need to decide what kind of things that they need to buy and what they want to buy. So there is a behavioral changes between what people can afford before and during the COVID. So they need to change their schedule, their needs, their wants to simply keep them alive. Another changes in customer behavioral is in the psychological section, because a lot of people feel stressed when they were in the COVID-19 era. There's a lot of people who is feared of getting infected in that COVID-19 era, so that way their behavioral changes. They no longer consume a lot of fast food, they consume a lot of healthier food, they consume a lot of medicine to keep themselves healthy. There is also another impact on the way that people works on the COVID-19 era. So a lot of office apply work from home in the COVID-19 era so that their worker didn't get infected by the virus. And by that, there's a behavioral change from the office. For the example, at first they trying to buy a lot of office stuff, maybe a lot of papers, a lot of chair and table, and another office stuff. But during the COVID-19 era, a lot of office starting to focus on what the employee needs on their own home, because they work from home. For example, there's a lot of offices that supply their worker with a Wi-Fi. So instead of the office paying for maybe paper, their electricity bill, they instead pay for their workers' Wi-Fi bills. There is some company that gets a lot of profits from COVID-19 and also get bankrupt in COVID-19. Companies like Gojek that use GoFood and Shopee from their Shopee Food and also their online stores gets a lot of profit from the COVID-19 era because their application is used a lot by millions of people. And some of the companies like travel companies need to get bankrupt because of the COVID-19. So, what we can learn from that story? First, flexibility and adaptation is very, very crucial. As a marketer, we need to adapt from whatever happens on the world right now. We need to be able to adapt to change from the real world to the online world, and maybe, we don't know, maybe in the next 10 years, we need to get back to the real world. Or maybe there's another new world that we still doesn't know exists now. Second lesson is digital presence is no longer optional. Because now, if you have a company, your company needs to have an online profile so that a lot more people know about your company. If your company doesn't recognize online, if something like pandemic happens again, more likely your company will go bankrupt. And the last one is for us marketer, we need to understand about our customer psychology. Because if we understand what our customer want, then we can provide them with what they want. That means that we can get much more profit from that. So that's what happened in customer behavioral changes around COVID-19. If I missed something or if you guys have another opinion, please leave it in comment and like this video. Thank you guys for listening to me. My name is Alif Azaria. Sign out.